knew that it'd be such a timely topic. And really, what is time? What day is it? What is real? I feel like we're reliving the same day over and over again. They should probably make a movie about it. And the gas prices keep going down. I feel like I'm going back in time. It's like we found the portal to anti-aging. Is this the 80s? Am I in primary school? Now that we're in the thick of a pandemic, here are some tactics I'd like to suggest to get you through the fiasco that is grocery shopping during a pandemic. Tactic number 1, make a grocery list and then forget about it. Hoarding and panic buying are at an all-time high, so we can't predict what's going to be on the shelves when we actually do a grocery shop. So, have a plan A. List of things that you would like to replenish in your pantry, in your grocery list. Then, convince yourself that you might actually buy maybe 50%. If you could get 50% of the items on your list, that is success. That's right, people. 50% is now an A grade. So for you high school slackers, you'll have no problem adapting to this new normal. But for the rest of us, so make a list and memorize it. And concede to the fact that you might not get everything on that list. I say memorize this because by the time you make it through the door, you have no time to pull out this list when you're trying to gauge the 2-meter rule. That's 6 feet for those who don't get meters. So, people are coming left and right, and you have to maintain this 2-meter rule. And I swear, since this has been put into place, people are getting closer and closer. Am I dreaming this? I mean, don't stand so. Don't stand so. Don't stand so close to me. Just don't expect to be ticking all of the items off your list. Besides, you won't be able to hold a pen either because that's one more surface that you don't need to be touching. Now that you have your list, you now have a plan. But not everybody has a plan. So tactic number 2 is to remember, people are dumb. People were dumb to begin with, but now the dumbometer has been dialed all the way to 11. When people without a plan find out that their item is not on the shelf, they freeze with confusion and stand there. They question their visibility. They question if they're hallucinating. Doth my eyes deceive me? Am I hallucinating? Has Google Maps led me astray once again? Seriously, they stare into the abyss of this empty shelf in hopes that it would magically appear. Meanwhile, the rest of us are keeping the 2-meter distance, wondering, will you move on please, you muggle? Then there's the person who's taking instructions over the phone. And they usually do this while standing in front of a popular item. Always. Oh, she pretends she can't hear you or even see you at a 2 meters distance as she holds up the traffic in the entire aisle for her phone call. Move on, lady. Oh yes, I may not be able to breach these 2 meters, but I could certainly throw an egg from that distance. How about that? Number 3 is to realize that we're all hypocrites. Now, before you get your back up, just hear me out. There is no way that we are doing something so countercultural that we are going to get it perfect every single time. We can't handle that stress. I mean, if we had a cameraman following us through our grocery shop, they would be able to take marks off of us along the way. There is no way that we are going to get it 100% of the time. Never. But there are people who take the extreme to the extreme. I see people covering their faces, covering their hands, covering their heads. I saw this guy fully decked out like a cross between a ninja and Inspector Gadget. His shifty eyes twitching with fear and judgment. Only to see him breach the 2-meter rule in front of an elderly man to get in line. And those are my 3 tactics, folks. We're all trying to do our best. You've heard it all before. Wash your hands, stay at home as much as you can. Don't overbuy. Say hello to your neighbor at a distance. Make eye contact. Do what you need to do to make you feel human in this crazy time. And remember, if you're smart enough to lick a toilet bowl for TikTok, do the world a favor and chase that fecal cocktail with a Tide Pod because you're worth it. Like and subscribe. Toodles! I'd like to... And remember, the thick. Here are some tactics. That's right, folks. High school slackers of the world will have no problem adapting to this. High school slackers of the world. If you're smart enough to do... How about that?